What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI. Excuse me, I got this frog in my throat. I can't shake it. Please do jump into the live chat. Level up your logistics. That's why we're here. We're going to learn about Ship.Cars technology today on Cars on the Move. Please do jump in the live chat. Please excuse the frog in my throat. And when you jump in the live chat, what you want to do is you can click on some links. You're going to get some more information about Ship.Cars because you know about Ship.Cars, but have you seen it lately? And do you have any questions about the technology? So we're going to actually get a live demo with Vlad and Daniel of Ship.Cars. So we don't want to waste much time. Besides, I might cough again or something weird. So let's do this. Let's go check in with our friend Ty live in the transport parking lot. See where he is today. I think he's at the auction. Ty, can you see me and hear me okay?
Yeah, how are you?
Oh, well, I'm coughing or something. So take it away. What are you doing?
I'm in the, by the way, I figured it out. This is my favorite auction in Kansas City, Missouri. America's Auto Auction, Kansas City, Missouri. My favorite auction, friendly people, lots of great cars, lots of great wholesalers. Lots happening in the transport parking lot. That's where I'm at right now. This is where I live, transport parking lot. This is where everything happens, right? But this morning before I got here, I was in Clubhouse. You know, you always hear me talking about Clubhouse, all things used cars. Brian Kramer, by the way, he invited me up on the stage. I was actually on the stage today. I got to hang out and listen to it. Yeah, pretty crazy. So one of the takeaways from today, they were looking at 3 KPIs that dealers use for their inventory. And they were going on and on. But the one thing David Long said that caught my attention the most, I'll mess the years up for sure, but it was like 2020, only 6% of dealers were buying vehicles in the lane, meaning the service drive, acquiring vehicles from public,
okay.
Right?
20%. What was the year?
No. Like only 6%.
6%.
We're doing this, and that was say 2020.
Okay, wow.
And then go say to 2022. Let's say it's 14%. So I know I have the percents right, which equals a 200% increase in vehicle acquisition from somebody besides an auction.
The dealership, yeah, with
right?
you, which is a big deal, yeah.
Yeah, they call them VBC, vehicle buying centers, right? That's a big word. And the reason that this is interesting, okay, because you always hear me on Fridays after I come out of a clubhouse, there's a lot of big dealers, big dealer groups in there, and they're talking about buying cars from other places than an auction. They still go to auctions, they still can buy cars at auctions, they do buy cars at auctions, but you're starting to see this trend where 200% from this year, whatever it was, 6% to this year, whatever that year was, to 14%, equaling a 200% increase in vehicle acquisition from other places than an auction. That's crazy.
It is crazy, and I want to point out, two things. One is, I put in the live chat, VBC, Vehicle Buying Center. We recently had a comment asking whenever we use an anagram to try to clarify, which is great. Okay. That means, there's a thirst for knowledge, which is awesome. Yeah. The other thing what's interesting is that, so if you're moving a few less cars to auction, could be dealer got that inventory through a VBC, and that's why you're not moving it.
Yeah, or that's why you're maybe not picking up as many vehicles at an auction as, say, maybe you normally do or would, right?
That's right.
And the reason I bring this up, okay, me on Fridays, I'm always pushing, go get your own customer. Go to a dealer, go to an auction, hang out in the transport parking lot, talk to people, build relationships, and build lanes. That's what you'll always hear me preach. Now, things have changed, say, in the last 2-3 years, so I have to help you be successful, right? ATI wants you to succeed in your car hauling business. The best way to succeed in your car hauling business is to build an arsenal. And I was thinking before the show, I thought, okay, how much does a TMS cost a guy? How much does the load board cost a guy? Okay, the technology, those two, load board, TMS, I do know what TMS is. I do know what load board is. Are those two alone enough to sustain and build and grow and scale a business, a car hauling business? I don't know. Probably
Ooh.
not, especially when we start looking at the life expectancy of a new car hauler guy. Go
Oh
ahead.
no. Well, I just want to say that I want let's leave that question on the table
Yeah.
and see who can convince us either way. And in fact, jump in the live chat. I do want to say this too. Thank you so much. David at Tubers Transportation is here. Ship.Cars says happy Friday. Thank you, Ship.Cars, for this opportunity. Eamon is here. Thank God it's Friday. MNO Gosley says, yeah,
Why
what's
are
up?
there so many people in the live chat? What's going on around here?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you.
Hey, it's
Because,
Friday. Come on.
it's not only Friday, but we got the Ship.Cars group tuning in.
There
And
we go.
because this is actually what's really cool, camera one. What's really cool, what we're doing here today is we're going to showcase. I'm going to bring in Daniel and Vlad here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and invite them now while I'm talking. Daniel and Vlad, get your cameras ready, microphones ready, screens ready, because we're lucky today. We're going to see Ship.Cars technology. I don't know if we're going to have time to see all of it, but we're going to see some of it. We're going to learn more about what we're talking about. Please do help me wish a very warm welcome. Daniel and Vlad of Ship.Cars are here with us. Oh, and I've got my titles on the screen. Really, Jay? Okay, so let's do this. Daniel, let's start with you. Please say hello. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Hey, hello everyone, and everyone who is watching the show live and even later. Now, yeah, I am Daniel with Ship.Cars. I am product owner for the carrier products because I've always loved working with carriers, right? I've been with the company for more than 4 years, 5 years now, and yeah, time flies by. I started as a support, so I've been talking to a lot of the people, probably a lot of people who are tuning in right now. So yeah,
Fantastic. Awesome. Time does fly, doesn't it? When you're having fun, huh?
oh yeah.
Vlad, please say hello. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I'm very excited to be here. So I'm Vlad. I'm head of product at Ship.Cars. I have been with the company for almost 6 years now. What is interesting about me is that actually I have a technology background, so I'm a developer by trade. So yeah, I have personally created some of the products that we have in our platform, and maybe some of the bugs that you are currently experiencing have been made by me.
Right, right. I'm glad you said it because in technology, you'd think that you could just keep adding stuff like Legos. But every time you add a Lego, something else gets affected, and now you've got a bug, right? And
Yeah,
it's just part of the deal, right? So,
exactly.
so if you experience a bug, let somebody know. Stay calm. They'll get it fixed. It's part of development. All right. Having said that, so what are we? You gentlemen, you're going to take it away. What are we? Oh, look at that! Look at that car hauler in the background. Don't you love that? What production value? All right. So where do we want to start? Take it away. It's your show.
All right. Well, first of all, it's been a week, a great week for us, because last week we have released something new, brand new for our industry, and we call it trip planning, trip planner, and it is on the load board. It's also available from the carrier TMS. That's on Ship.Cars. It is available for all carrier dispatchers who are trying to save, and that's probably hours of time, while trying to figure out which trip is best for their driver to make the most profit that is available out there. And we made it in a way for them to have it in a visual way, right? To see all of the stops, to see that whole trip in front of them before they even start booking these loads. So yeah, I am actually really excited to share it all, to actually show how it works. Because I've mentioned I've been with support, and I know that a lot of people, when they see something huge, something new, they're at first afraid to try. But yeah, I really want to show everything how it works, what you can do, and we'll go from there.
I want to say this is that you said something important. Is that this is a really interesting process where you go from not using a certain technology, and then you realize you have a need. Maybe life would be easier with the technology, but you still have to learn how to use it, and you also know what that process is like because you've worked with. I mean, you seem like you have that experience of working with dispatchers, carriers. Am I right about that?
Everybody.
Everybody, yeah, and that makes such a difference. One of the things that gets talked about is, was this designed by somebody that doesn't know anything about my business? Right? And we see things like that, and it's really frustrating. That's not the case here. You know the business.
Yeah, well, at first we were showing our users mock-ups, designs, and the people we talked about with, they were like, "Hey, we wanted something like that." So, yeah.
That's always a good sign. All right. So, are we going to take a look under the hood or what?
Can't wait.
We're ready? Okay, go ahead
Let's
and take
do
it
that.
away. Yeah, let's do that. Here we go.
All right. So,
Ladies
if
and
you
gentlemen,
guys
right here on ATI, take it away, Daniel.
can... Jay.
Yeah.
All right. So we are on the Ship.Cars load board now, and what we see over here, you've mentioned it, search a long route a few minutes ago. We've released this a few months back, and yeah, it's pretty much you know the drill because you enter the origin, the destination. You can add waypoints in between. Now, what we'll be doing this for the purpose of this demonstration is to trigger a search real quick, and we'll enter Miami, and we'll be going to Boston. All right. I will be looking for loads with the 100 miles detour, and they'll be longer. Let's say 600 miles. And then I'll filter them by care page just to see everything that is on top. Yeah, I won't be looking at all the details because I know like there is a lot that is important when looking at all of these loads. So this is what the results are. So over here, these are pickups, and then we start with drop-offs, and all of these are drop-offs, right? So I will go ahead and create my trip because we will be starting to fill up a trip now. So let's call it ADI. The first, and let's pick a large trailer with 9 spots. All right, and it's ready now for loads. Now let's just pick the few, let's say 7 that are on top. So I am currently working on my trip ADI 1, and I've already started filling it up with loads. So I have 2 added over here, and this is, so the first load I've added is the first load that is planned. All of the rest I will schedule myself. I'll show you in a bit. All right, let's not do this one. Let's pick this one.
Wow, so you're clicking that and you're adding those loads to your trip.
Yeah, I think I'm good with this. So we have 7 loads, and we have the revenue of 1,300 for, this is the first one I've added, and now let me show you. All right, so we have these 2 spots. So this was the first load I've added. We have it as a pickup location and delivery location. So we are splitting the loads now in 2. So these are 2 stops that the driver has to perform. Now, let me show you where the rest are, because I will just have to pretty much show
Wow.
arrange them in a way for that the driver would know. So this is my first, second, third one. All right, so I'm just going to drag this one. So this is my first one, and I'm dragging this over here.
You can just drag and drop your loads and your,
Yeah, basically the first load that was added, it served as a base for the trip. So we use the origin and destination of the first load. And now what Daniel is currently doing, he's arranging the pickup and deliveries on the route out of experience. You will see in a bit, once he completes this process, you will see that we map everything on our map, and you will be able to do adjustments at any given point of time in order to either optimize the route, optimize the number of miles you're going, or just testing different loads in the trip or removing them in order to see what makes sense for you. So basically now when he taps the view trip planner, you see that everything changes. The trip is now mapped out, and Daniel will explain you what you are currently seeing and how this is extremely useful for you as a dispatcher.
Right. So
Wow.
yes, we have added all of these stops in a consecutive order. So now we are ready to assign a driver, because this is what the driver would be looking at. So I, as a dispatcher, am arranging all of the stops, and once I choose the driver, and let's see, this one over here. Yeah, that's me. And yeah, what the driver would see is the list, and I'll show you in a bit. But first, let me explain what we're looking at over here. So these are the stops. I can see the details and stuff, right? And then over here is my trip chart. So it looks colorful. We didn't really aim to make it beautiful just for the sake of it. It was more of distinguishing which load is this. So this is my first pickup, then the second one, and all of these are the pickups. The lines, each of these lines, and over here I have a couple of empty ones. So these are spots on my trailer. And over here I'm filling one, I'm filling the second, third, and so on, right? So over here, so the delivery in Bel Air is my first drop off. And from that point on, I am having an empty spot, right? So I'll show you in a bit how we will be filling this one up. But we have these two that are empty, and we can start worrying about them, because, well, yeah, I mean, they are empty for the entire distance of the trip. We don't want that. So what a good start is for us to turn on email notifications for when something appears on the Ship.Cars load board that fits my trip. So these are these two empty spots for the entire distance, and then we have this one, it's almost 600 miles, so it's a pretty significant one. So whenever something appears on the load board, we'll get a notification. So this is what we'll do now, and yeah. Now for these two, let's say we have a contact, because everybody has contacts. Everybody receives phone calls, emails from a lot of companies offering them loads. Now we get that. So the trip planner, what is the best thing about it? It's a product inside a product. So it is one that can work on its own, right? So we can have these loads from the Ship.Cars load board, but we can also add loads from anywhere. We just need to hit that button, add a load. So we have a couple of options here. We can add them from the loads we have already added inside our Ship.Cars system once we've booked already, or even import loads from other places. We can do that, okay? But then we can also add load candidates. So what this is a load I might be interested in, but before I even book it, right? So I'll quickly add a load candidate so I can show you how this works.
I want to stress out here that when we started thinking about creating this trip planner, one of the most important things for us was to actually make it usable for all loads coming from all different sources. Because we know the state of the industry. We know that the dispatcher needs to build multiple load boards in order to fill a trip. We know that the dispatcher needs to pull a lot of different connections in order to be able to find the best loads. So we know that loads are not coming from a single source. So it was extremely important for us to make sure that this tool is actually usable for the dispatcher, and the dispatcher is able to maximize the profit for its trip, to optimize its route, and pretty much to do everything. It doesn't really matter if the load is coming from Ship.Cars or from any other load board. The idea here is to give a tool to the dispatcher that is so good that he comes to use Ship.Cars just for this tool.
Wow.
Right. So while he was talking, I actually added
Yeah,
my
so you
load
brought it.
candidate.
And when you drag and drop, you're placing it in the order you want?
Exactly.
Wow.
All right. Well, I've added this one, and I'm almost done.
Hold
You
on
want-
just a second. Jay's saying wow. So Jay, you've done what are you seeing here, Jay?
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask you what you're seeing. Like, so
Well,
here, let me move this
yeah,
up.
I've
Yeah,
never done dispatching, so I think this would be
right.
more up. I mean, tell me more about this, Jay,
So
because you said wow.
okay, I'm going to, and then I'm gonna pass it back to you, because you represent somebody who obviously you haul cars, you know your trailer, you know what you're doing, but you're not used to this technology. And let's say I
Right.
was your dispatcher and I said, wow. So you just asked me why. And so I'll say this. Okay, so I actually, when I was a dispatcher, or as someone who is dispatching, when you get to a larger size trailer, it gets harder. It not if you've been doing it forever, but when you're new to it, it's hard to remember which cars are going to go which distance and how many cars do I have and am I overbooked? And it's easy to overbook one. Again, someone's going to disagree, but I've done it because let's say I have a 7 car and I booked 8 thinking that those 2 would fill one spot the whole way, but there's an overlap. And I got a problem. This diagram helps me see if I've properly booked this trailer. And then we can even put in order and find our empty spots. So let's say we can find a great paying load on that first empty spot up at the top. I know that I have that empty spot. I can verify that. That's just one of the wows. Go ahead.
You actually brought a very good point. So one of the problems is actually overbooking, and what Daniel is currently seeing, and you explain a little bit, is a more obvious case of overbooking. But you can imagine a case where you're overbooked for like 50 miles, for example.
Yeah,
so you need to go and
do it. I've done it.
Do a drop off, then return back 50 miles, which are basically less money in your pocket.
Which means you're getting cussed out for 100 miles. Yeah.
Exactly. And these two actually makes it extremely easy to spot this immediately and be able to remedy this. So, Daniel, I mean, you can show this around.
You can kill a whole day because not only have you lost 100 miles, but God knows what else you did wrong. So, so that's one of the things I love about this. One of the other things I love is you're dragging and dropping your order on the fly. I've never seen, I don't think I've ever seen any technology that can do that. Because the order, once you know you've got the trailer filled, now the driver somebody says, all right, so what's the order? What do I pick up first? What do I deliver first? And this way you can see the loads. And this thing that you can drag and drop on the fly, drag and drop one for me. Switch the purple and the green or whatever, you know? And so it's going to update on the fly. But that's crazy too. Yeah, this is some upper echelon coding going on here.
Oh yeah, we'll show you because I really want to just step back a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So take it away.
Overbooking. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Exceeding capacity. The system knows, right? And it's letting me know. And now I can make my arrangements. But what we'll be doing here is making a decision. And I want to show another great value of what we've called the trip vote. So what it allows me now is pretty much make a call. Decide which one of these 2 load candidates makes more sense.
Wow.
Right. So if I move this one back to the vote, because I've added a load candidate, the second one with a couple of vehicles just to make it exceed the capacity. So if I can move it back to the vote, I am back again with my original one with one empty spot. So I am having a $6 a mile and then $10,000 trip for 1,700 miles. Okay. And now if I go back to the vote where my load candidate is, and I just drag it back here, and then remove that other one, just so I can compare, right? We're already moved to 6.5 a mile, and obviously, I mean, it's a couple of vehicles, but I can use the vote to swap things up and see which one of these loads actually makes more sense. Because sometimes a 50 miles detour is a lot if it's a business location, and then you have to wait and waste a lot of time. These 50 miles may turn into a big problem, and wasting time is wasting money. So,
Yeah, no,
um,
and that's another good point. Is that I like that too because I know that's another thing. That's why I like the drag and drop and the stuff. And actually, it is pretty. Is that because once you've got your loads, then your load candidates. That's good phrasing. I like load candidate. Then you've got to decide, all right, how are we going to make the most amount of money off of this trip? And because there's going to be some ifs, you know, you're gonna
yeah.
and so what you can really get, I'm sure you could dive even further into the, you know, what makes a load great. But there is so much happening here, and it's organized, and everything's. I mean, we're live. This is a live demo,
Yes, this
and
is a live
everything's.
demo.
I mean, everything's working, and I mean, it's really pretty neat.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that changes happen all the time. Like
Yes.
and we'll show you in a bit with the status tracking and everything. But well, changes happen, and you have to adapt. And sometimes swapping two pickups is a big deal. So what if you could just go ahead and just swap things up with a drag and drop? Now you can. Now you can just and again it's on Ship.Cars available. Everybody can just tap in and add loads freely, do like play around with it because there is nothing that could go wrong over here. And I really wanted to show you something about this map over here. Now it pretty much does again a search along route. This is my trip and it's looking for loads around my trip. Now we have this drop off here in Bel Air, right? So over here, this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is Mannheim, and I'm going to add this one to the trip to see if it would be a good fit. And now that I've added it to the vote, I would simply just go ahead and drop the pickup after the drop off. And then let's see if it would be a good one for, so yeah, let's see if that would be a good one for a drop off, the last drop off. All right, probably we'll have to change things up a little bit. So we have now a trip for close to 1,300 and then dollars, and then $7 a mile for 1,800 miles. Let's see what we have here. Now, if we can play around a little bit with the drop-offs, let's see. So we have.
So you
Let's see.
see that the route on the map actually, even from a visual perspective, doesn't really look that optimal. So what Daniel is currently doing is that he's thinking of different ways how can actually optimize the route to decrease the distance and indirectly increase the price, the dollars per mile that he will get.
And it already happened. So we have $7.4 a mile, and this is just by ordering these stops. Of course, every dispatcher does that, but everybody with all sorts of different tools, and it's like everybody for their own. So now we have this trip planner. Now we have this visual representation of what the trip is, and now the status tracking and everything comes. Well, I can just log in, open my trip, see where my driver's at, and then see what is left. Like, should I make other arrangements, or just go ahead and worry about my next trip.
So as a dispatcher, you are actually doing this. I mean, you are optimizing the trip and you're optimizing the route, trying to reduce the distance, the total distance. But basically, what this allows you is to be able to kind of play around with it. It allows you to see the results immediately. It saves you a ton of calculations that otherwise you need to do manually. You see the trip on the map, so it really makes it easy for you to use your experience to be able to optimize the trip.
Yeah, what I was thinking was because you have a lot of folks that what they really want to do is they want a family member to be the dispatcher. And how do you train? I mean, I've actually been faced with this question. How are we going to train your wife or one of your kids or a cousin or somebody to be a dispatcher and they've never done anything in trucking? And this tool will help that person.
The worst thing about it is that at first it sounds like it's a lot, right?
Right.
And it is. I mean, I said like it's not, but it is. And it could be stressful for anybody who is just joining in. And you have to worry about even for a driver. Now, all owner operators that are out there, they have to know so much in order for them to make a living out of it.
That's right.
Because you have to worry about booking and be always on the route, and to be full, and that's a lot of phone calls, that's a lot of negotiating, that's a lot of knowing people, contacts, and then you have to worry about the quality of your service, and then you have to worry about filling up paperwork. Now all of these BOLs, that all of these different formats, if you're using paper, because that's what you've been told, hey, you have to use BOL. So you find BOLs and you start filling them up, but then you make a mistake. So what happens is that you start getting calls. You're looking for your money, but people are telling you, hey, you have to change this thing, you have to edit this, that. And then you get a call and somebody claims something that you didn't do, and then you're losing money. I mean, that's like the worst case scenario.
Well, here's the thing. And you're just showing the trip planner feature of a technology that does a lot more. So here I want to go over to Ty. I stopped your screen sharing because now we're talking. Ty, where are you now? What are you thinking?
Actually, I'm starting to. I think I'm getting it, right. So there's an advantage for a guy who's already been doing this, maybe, but we won't talk about that guy for a minute. We'll talk about a new guy. Just kind of piecing this together. I'm a new guy. I got a truck. I got a trailer. My goal in life is to drive the truck, pick up the cars, and drop them off. Right. That's what I want to do. And I'm good with my hands, and I know a little bit about mechanics, so I work on my truck whenever it's not hauling cars. But I maybe don't know as much as I should because I'm new. And one of the things I think I'm seeing here is this might actually be part of the guardrails at the bowling alley.
Right. That's right, because now you can focus on what it was you originally wanted to do.
Right, which I mean, I'm here to work, and I think this is a good representation of, and I think about this. I say this stuff a lot. There's a lot of carriers out here. They really want to do a good job. They really want to help serve your need. There's just so much in this industry, and that's why ATI, in my opinion, is a great place, because we touch all these things, and you just learn as you go. But as I look at Ship.Cars, I listen to Daniel and Vladimir, and I'm hearing what they're saying. I'm actually quite perplexed. I'm watching him drag these loads and put them in there, and then they kick out. That's the best, most efficient route to make me the most amount of money.
Right.
Wow, I like that. I mean, that makes me feel good. One of the things that I coach a lot is I say, your mind is a dangerous neighborhood, don't go there alone. And when I say that, I'm saying that in the context of this, working with the dispatcher that maybe you don't know, right? You spend all day picking up 7 cars, maybe a day and a half, picking these cars up, loading them, doing what your dispatcher tells you to do, and the whole time you're driving down the road, you're wondering, is this the most efficient?
Right, you can't see it. You don't know exactly. You're listening to a guy on the phone who is playing video games or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why
what's he doing?
This technology, yes, puts the power back into the driver's hands so he can feel comfortable about what we're working on.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And I think we always preach a lot here, know your cost per mile, dollar per mile. What's it cost you to run a mile? And I hear this $7 a mile, $8 a mile for a 1,300 mile run going one way, right? We can have fun with this I'm assuming, I don't know if we have the time, but now, okay, I'm empty in New Jersey or New York or wherever you were going. Now let's come back, or which way are we going next, right? And so you start looking at that, and I'm thinking, this might be a great opportunity. Go ahead.
I agree with you, because now you start to see other things that may be doable, attainable. Technology really should be something we all look forward to. The problem is when it's clunky and it, you were talking about the guy. A guy works all day, moves 7 cars. What does he do at the end of the day for an hour and a half? Does paperwork. Why? Can that stop? Please?
Yeah. So also, one of the last things I was kind of paying attention to is this BOL. It sounds like if you do paper BOL, it's going to create some problems for you getting paid. Is that what I heard, Daniel? Kind of? It can?
I mean,
can cause problems?
It really depends on here. Okay, so we have a lot of people with a lot of experience, right? So, but we were talking about the newcomer, and then you have this piece of paper. You're walking around the vehicle, and you try to wonder, okay, so where should I start? Is this a damage? Should I write it down? Okay, and then we've got the AI, and by the way, I say AI inspection like it's something
I'm
crazy,
right there with you. I say AI
let me
more and more.
simplify that just a little bit. So we have this machine learning. So again, terminology. We hate that. So let's say we have the system. Take a look at the vehicle for us. So you're taking pictures. You send these pictures. The system knows, the application knows what damage needs to be applied. And then it does that for you. So you give it a few seconds, it loads up, and it has the BOL ready for you, and then you're ready to go. So you pretty much take photos, which, by the way, taking photos is also good if you want to save your money. And then the BOL is done. You just have someone write it, and you're ready to go for the next stop in your trip. I really wanted to show you just how the driver's screen looks like from the driver's perspective again.
Let's look at it.
When the trip is ready. So I'll just share my screen a little bit. So over here, I have, you can see it. I have my app. So I have my orders here, all of these orders that are to be picked up.
Okay,
but then now I also have this new section, my trip. So I have this one trip that we have just created. When I click view details, I see the same thing again. So I see the orders that my dispatcher has planned. So the one with the couple from Pompano Beach, and then Delray and going down, right? And now they're ready. They're ready. And
right, you're showing because your driver can see the mobile app just as the dispatcher sees the desktop, and you're looking at the same thing.
It's seamlessly integrated to the whole platform. So basically, when you create a trip and you assign it to a driver sees it in their driver mobile application exactly the way you planned it. And what is also good is that if Daniel makes a change, basically this change will automatically be applied to what the driver sees, which basically means that this decreases a lot of the communication between the dispatcher and the driver in case of a change that's needed. If the dispatcher decides to add a new load or to change the pickups and deliveries in their order, the driver will be notified immediately, and they will be executed on the new trip plan.
Guys, I have literally stood in the office pacing, and the driver's like, what am I picking? And there's noise and gravel. What am I picking up next? And I'm like, okay, you've got a Jeep. A what? You've got a Jeep. Where? You're picking up a Jeep in Denver. And I mean, it's ridiculous. How much time, how much frustration. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is amazing.
And then text messages come, right?
Yeah, it looks great. It is pretty. I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
It is pretty. It's easy to look at. It makes sense. It's logical. Look at that map up there, too. Right? Like, this is some pretty sweet tech.
No kidding.
Yep.
So, to organize time, is there anything else you wanted to show, Daniel?
So, just to wrap things up, probably, because there are a lot of things we can do over here.
Great.
Because again, it is a tool meant to be started with by a dispatcher, right? So you were the one looking for load boards, deciding which one is worth it for the run, and then you start dragging and dropping all these stops. Yes. So you're making this order. You see if it makes sense. It does all the calculations for you, and then you can quickly see if you're making improvements or not. So this is the base. Then the other thing is, again, you can add loads from the ones you've booked. You can import loads from other load boards and places, but you can also add these load candidates so that you can quickly and notice the form. It's just asking for origin, destination, number of vehicles carried by. All of the notes is just for you to remind yourself where did you find it. The order ID is even optional. So you just add these little pieces of information just so you can see if that run is worth it, and then you can promote it into a real order so that you can have your driver assigned, receive the load information with all the dispatch instructions, notes you can type in for by yourself, and send them over through the app. And then once the driver gets there, picks up the app, takes the photos, completes the inspection, you get notified, and you can see we've even simulated it over here with these two loads being picked up, so it is completed. So this is the next one. This is where
Wow.
your driver is here in between, and you have your map, so you can see all of the loads that are available to be picked up. So whenever you have a late cancellations, because everybody hates that, so whenever you have a late cancellation, you just zoom in the map, see what's happening, see what could be taken, and go for it. Of course, if because we've been listening to carriers, and some of them are like, so you're advertising. I mean, it is a load board that is designed to make people money. Like, you need to fill up your truck, so you need to see loads on that load board. But if you're almost done, so you're just getting distracted, you can turn them off. And again, the load opportunities, this is huge. Now, as the trip progresses, so as the driver goes, as I've mentioned, you will be receiving email notifications for empty spots of significance like this with more than 200 miles, for example. But then, as the driver goes, it automatically removes the past empty spots, so you don't get bothered with emails with load opportunities for locations that your driver has already passed. Okay, and again, just piece of advice for everybody who is just taking their time to building their trip. By the time you pick your first load, the one that is with the good pay, so that it determines your origin and destination overall. Subscribe for these email
Anchor.
notifications so you don't miss the good opportunities.
Wow. This is neat. I mean, it's neat to see. Like, I actually drew up, I think I told you guys, those lines, I actually drew a diagram like that like 7 years ago, because I was trying to figure out how do I organize for a larger trailer, 3 car, 4 car, that you can organize in your head. But when you're dealing with a 7, 8, or 9 car load, and you have multiple picks and drops, you need one of these diagrams. I mean, maybe you don't think you do, but it reinforces what you think, because you don't want to be wrong.
It helps you be more efficient.
You don't want to be wrong. I promise you.
Not when you're doing more than 3 or 4. No, that's a lot of work.
And you don't want to do 3 or 4 drops if you don't have to, but we all know sometimes you have to.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes there's more money in it, more dollar per mile too.
That's right. That's correct. And you can see that too. My gosh. Yeah, no, this is crazy.
This is crazy.
It is already available in Ship.Cars, so everybody can, if they're already signed in, they can just go and give it a try. If not, they can sign in for free and just test it for themselves and see how much more efficient they will be when they're.
Whoa! Wait!
Yeah.
Whoa!
What
did you just say about free?
Yeah.
What?
It is. You can sign up. It is free, and you can start using it right now.
Are you serious? How do you do that? Where do you go to do that?
Yeah. Where do you go?
Well,
Ship.Cars? Where do you go?
Yes, you go to Ship.Cars if you're not registered already. You sign up and you immediately have access to this trip planner, and you can start
now
using it.
Now I'm signing up. Ship.Cars.com, is that what you said?
And then there's a 4
No,
carriers.
it's Ship.Cars.
Ship.Cars, yeah. I know.
Ship.Cars.
Right, yeah.
Just type that in your
ship.
search bar.
And I put a link in the live chat. Go to Ship.Cars. And then I found at the top of the site there's like a carrier rollover menu, right, for shippers or for carriers. Whether you're a shipper, whether you're a carrier, you go to Ship.Cars. And oh wait, I want to share my screen. Stop my share.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but you go to Ship.Cars, and
I just wanted to add one more thing. Now, for dispatchers who are just wondering, should I try this? Would my driver appreciate? And if you're just not 100% sure, you can log in on Ship.Cars, create a trip on your own, see how it looks, get value out of it. I mean, even if
Nice.
you have like 5 drivers, one of them doesn't like technology and it doesn't like an application and stuff, but the rest of your drivers are okay with it, you could still log in, create your trips. Even for this one driver, you can use the trip planner without the application. You can then mark all of these loads, the status changes yourself, so that you can on your own keep the status, progress, all of the trips, later on download reports and everything, so that you would know how hell of a job you're doing, right? And all of that on Ship.Cars without even having all of your drivers on board.
And I like what you're saying too, is that because, right, somebody's be like, man, I'm not ready to change the way we do business. Don't do that. Go to Ship.Cars. What, you just set up an account for free and then start playing around with it on your desktop? What if you're just a driver and you don't have a dispatcher? Can you do it on your mobile app? Can you sign up for free?
Oh yes, you can sign up
for free
now.
and just try it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do we have a landing page for this? We need a landing page.
Yeah.
ATI landing page. Just sign up for free.
Ship.Cars/ATI. Yeah, there we go.
Sign up for free for a trial.
There we go.
I
I like the way
that
you
idea.
think. There we go.
I'm talking business live.
Yeah, what's happening?
That's great.
So
No, it really is cool. I really love it.
It's
I'm really
neat.
excited about it. I'm thinking once I get off here, I might even actually go to Ship.Cars and start playing around. And there's some guys out in the transport parking lot that I might go see if they can try Ship.Cars.
Hey man, now that you parked your car, you have seen Ship.Cars, right? Exactly.
Yeah, where are you going now? Now that
Yeah.
you're empty, where are you headed, buddy?
And I wrote this
Introduce you to
down.
Ship.Cars.
This is crazy. Using this technology makes it as easy as playing Candyland.
Yeah. I've never played Candyland,
Right?
but I'm looking at it. I'm
Like
thinking,
a like a
this
simple. It's
this
like
is
a
a
game.
lot better.
Yeah, it is. It's just much.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks
And
good.
I think
it
I
seems
think
easy.
you guys get the the trophy for the day of bumper rails at the bowling alley.
You
I
did
really
it.
do.
You did. I
That's
agree
really
with that.
cool.
That's a good way to put it. You put the bumper rails on the bowling alley. My
job.
ball's not going in the gutter.
No, I'm gonna hit it.
I'm gonna hit some pins now.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's great.
That's
Great
awesome.
job, Daniel,
Yeah.
Vladimir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
awesome demo.
Thanks, guys.
Glad to hear
Um,
that.
Anybody have any questions? Put it in the live chat. Put it in the comments below. Visit Ship.Cars, and if you want to just reach out to me directly, I don't know. We just want to make sure that you can get more information if you're looking for it. I put Ty's phone number in the live chat. Autotransportintel@gmail.com. Really great job, Daniel and Vlad. Again, awesome. Nice job.
Tell Efton hi.
Yeah, say
Ask
hi to
Efton, is Efton going to be a digital dealer? Does anybody know? I'd like to say hi to Efton.
Uh-oh. This is a
I don't
live
think so.
curveball. What was the answer?
I
What do
don't
we
think
think?
so.
Yeah, okay. Well, nobody
okay.
goes to
I'll
as many
catch him at
trade
the
shows
next
as you do, Ty.
That's fair. That's
Right?
fair. Yeah.
It's
Nobody
crazy.
hangs out in transport parking lots as much as I do, except
Dude.
for car haulers. That's why
Exactly.
ATI, Car Hauler City, right here, kids.
That's right. So, I want to thank
We know
everybody
the
for
transport
tuning in
parking lot.
today. And Ty, thanks for what you do. Daniel,
Yep.
Vlad. So we'll just end the show here, and really do appreciate it. And then let's do a follow-up and see what happens next.
Sure, yeah. Thanks, guys, for having us here. And I mean, it's we'd love to be here again. We were talking about something, so stay tuned.
Awesome.
That'd
Yep.
be good.
That would be good.
It will be
All
great.
right.
It will be great to have a follow-up, and thank you for having us.
Thank you, Vlad.
Thanks for coming
very
on.
much.
Great
Yeah.
technology, guys. Good job.
Yeah, nice
Really
job.
mean that. Thanks for the
Thanks,
demo
guys.
too. I
Yeah,
hadn't seen that, and I think
Right.
I've seen a couple of demos.
Exactly.
And I haven't seen that one.
if you can impress Ty with technology, you have done something.
I paid attention. I love it. That's great. Good job, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, have a
Appreciate
good
it.
one.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
You
All
too.
right, I'm
Bye.
going to end the meeting. Take care. And all right, Ty, here's what I'll do. I'll put them in the waiting room, and we like to do this because it's the end of the week. And you've got what's going on behind you, anyways? What?
Well, that's guy. I was wanting to catch him, but he's leaving. I was
Yeah.
going to ask him how that works. I've always
Okay.
wanted to know up close
Right,
and personal.
the toe deal.
Yeah.
Right.
And
The
over here
in-toe
we've
toe.
got.
Yeah.
Well, here, let me just turn the camera on. Let me
Yeah,
show you
take
some
it
cool
away.
stuff.
Yeah.
Just a second. Okay.
And I got a 1:00 meeting, but we got a few
Well,
minutes.
All you got to do is say,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
done.
good.
I'm out of here.
Yeah,
okay.
you're good. Take it away.
Let's do this. Okay. This car right here was just dropped off right before the show.
Oh.
And it was a rollback, right? And he's going, you know, you got to push it and shake it off like that.
Yeah.
So then they're doing their check-in process, which is cool. Over here, a little farther, see that orange trailer?
Yeah.
Just in the amount of time while we were having the show, he's unloaded 7 cars in under 30 minutes. This is an AT Ashby, you know our buddy Ashby?
Oh yeah, Ashby. Sure.
It's an Ashby truck. Look at this guy. He's just smoking them out of there. Bang,
Wow.
bang, bang.
Yeah.
Really impressed with Ashby's driver.
Oh,
Right beside
awesome.
it there, we're looking at the big high rail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really love equipment. I really love talking about
I
equipment.
know.
Then there's one more thing I want to show you. I thought this was kind of cool. I was sitting here. My camera was right here on the back of this car.
Yeah.
Now, do you see anything obvious with the back of this car?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. So you take it away. I
No,
don't know.
you don't. Okay. If you look real close,
Oh yeah. What is all
how
that?
do dead
That-
bugs get on the back of a car? You have to
Oh,
be
because
driving
it was
backwards
loaded
down
backwards.
the
yeah.
highway.
Loaded backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, I
So
couldn't
usually
tell what
that
that
tells
stuff
you that was number 1 on
Yeah.
the truck. So there's number 1, right?
right
Number
above
1
the
is over
headache
there.
rack. Yeah, number 1 up on
Yeah.
top.
So I bet that one's got some bugs on it too.
Yeah,
But anyway,
right.
little stuff like that's really cool to me.
That's
I don't know
funny.
why.
Yeah, that's
Just
awesome.
car horn.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's like because there's like a detective
Inspector.
show. There's a detective show right now where the guy can like see anything. You're like the car
Yeah.
hauler detective.
Car hauler.
CSI
detective.
car hauler. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just you get familiar. You always hear me talk about lanes. If that scares you right there, then maybe car hauling's not for you.
Yeah, that's me.
It's a little high.
I'm pretty much not going to be up there, okay? Like, if you put me up there,
Yeah.
the whole parking lot's going to have a problem.
We got this. Remember Swan, the van, or these are the Swan trucks right here. They sell ice cream and steaks and stuff.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I always
Okay.
notice, it's funny you say that, because I always notice U-bodies when I see them on the road. Because Don, I'm a dispatcher. I'm like, yeah, let's book it. And he's like,
Okay.
I booked like 2 or 3. And he was like, Jay, you have any idea how heavy those are?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Speaking
I
of
wouldn't
that,
want-
the weight of that parking garage, that thing's going around. Whoa.
Whoa. You know what I thought of after that? I know some people are like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, EVs are collapsing parking garages, and nobody thought about that. And then I got thinking more. It's like, wait a minute. Sorry.
But carbon is the problem. Okay. You know, I didn't even
Well-
go into politics, and I just got whacked. You
I
know?
was thinking about the roads. We just regular normal cars,
Right.
Gee.
Everybody's worried about. Well, it's because we give out your phone number. Everybody's worried about the weight of a loaded trailer being overweight by 8,000 pounds. Meanwhile, we've just added 24 kilojillion tons to
Oh
the
my
roadways.
Yeah. So anyway, maybe we'll see where it goes. Keep an eye on it. I hate
Yeah.
to be Debbie Downer, and
I know. It's no way to end a Friday. Come on, Ty.
no. Call Ty for bumper reels at the bowling alley.
Yeah. That was an
417.
amazing show.
That
yeah.
was good. Good
Wait.
job.
417-483. What are the last 4?
483-2764.
In the live chat. 417-483-2764.
We're doing
Uh-oh, your internet's going nuts. He froze up. Yeah, your internet. You got a
I'm
Wi-Fi. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know.
Oh, I bet it's attached to the,
Yeah,
All
you
right,
hit the
well,
Wi-Fi.
let's call it.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, man. Have a good Friday.
Okay, we should be good now.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Then let's stay here.
All right, peace.
All right. I got a meeting in 5 minutes, anyways,
Yeah,
dude.
I got rid of it. Monday, yeah.
Digital dealer.
All right.
Yeah. You're catching a plane Monday.
Tuesday, digital dealer. That's going to be good.
It's going to be digital
Monday
dealer
morning.
week. That's going to be nuts. And we might go live Wednesday too, so we'll be talking about that. And so I'll see you Tuesday.
All right.
Online. Have a great trip, buddy.
I'm excited.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
Tampa,
digital dealer. It's
Okay,
going to be
awesome.
good.
All right, so I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Let me know if you need
thank
something.
you.
Give me a jingle.
Will do.
All right, what's
All right.
up? Cool, man. Thanks. All right, dude. All right, so that's Ty. He's out of here. Number one, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, saying hello, and in the live chat, Ship.Cars, Daniel and Vlad. That was an awesome demo. That is innovative tech. That is, someone put it in the live chat, the future is here. It does look that way. And so things are changing. And it's a good thing. Because here's another thing. AI. I know AI is like, don't say AI. Somebody's like, don't say AI. Well, AI, here's the thing. You know how you get good suggested loads while you're driving? AI. It's machine learning. Smart tech is here to help you. Work smarter. Well, everybody says that. Work smarter, not harder. Work smarter, not harder. Use great tech. That's what we saw today with Ship.Cars. So find out more. Visit Ship.Cars. That's Ship.Cars. It's not a .com. Ship.Cars. Even the name is futuristic. So visit Ship.Cars. Thank you so much, Ship.Cars. And leave it in the comments below. Please do make sure you join us next week. We're going to be at Digital Dealer. Why? Well, we'll tell you. We'll tell you more about why Digital Dealer next week. But it is a definite show that we go to because what do we do on Cars on the Move? We connect dealers, auctions, and carriers and tech every Friday. Thanks for watching ATI. Have a nice weekend. I know you're working, but try to enjoy the weather a little bit. It's getting nicer. So thanks so much. Take care. Peace out. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.